Hi guys, welcome back to a Helldivers video today. I thought I'd go back and try Cyborgs because after the patch they buffed the Airstrike. So I thought I'd give the Airstrike a good test run today, and the Cyborgs is always one of those things that's been kind of eluding me because generally I'd always thought they were pretty overpowering, a little bit too OP at level 12. So I've been trying lots of different tactics, and generally because there's so many tanks you get kind of overrun, but now the Airstrike is going to be pretty powerful. So I've got two of those, a static field and one Railcannon. Just means that I've got a lot of power. I don't even have a shield this time. I'm not using distract beacons because I can't be bothered with all this stealth. I like to get out there and have good fight, and that's what I think this is all about, this game. So we'll give the Airstrikes a good go. Now, if you can get a tank trapped in the corner of the screen there, generally it's just far enough away for them not to target you. You can get away with it sometimes, but as you'll see as we go through the video, I'm going to combine the static field to keep the mobs at bay, and then we're also going to be using the arc thrower, which is really good at taking out small patrols. 2 shots it takes out a group of those little hunchbacks, little abomination hunchbacks, and it's really good when you get it right. You can take out an entire group of patrol, like a 4-man patrol, without them setting the alarm off with one shot. But so the arc thrower is a really good weapon because it's like the laser, it doesn't run out. You can charge it right up and then just unleash it. I haven't really been playing much lately, so I got a little bit caught out to begin with. But as I get through the video, that's kind of getting the timing right, particularly for the stratagems, you know, the Airstrike and the Railcannon. It's more to do with timing, getting the right buttons. Strategy-wise, it's pretty hard, I'd say, against the Cyborgs because they really do just keep coming and coming and coming. And you can see here, once you get cornered, I mean, I've got 2 tanks cornering me now, so I got a little bit held down, to say the least, and got a little screwed. Didn't put me in the nicest place to restart, but who we got going? The other thing you'll notice about the Cyborgs is you get a lot of these elite enemies, you know, the medium-sized enemies. I'd say they go from kind of like medium to medium elite just before the tank class. Some of them are pretty hard to take down. Now the arc thrower does no job at taking these elites down at all. So that's why I thought it'd be good to go with the Railcannon, which is going to one-shot tanks. Now, I didn't quite understand how the Airstrikes would deal since the buff, because I hadn't tried them. But you will actually see the Airstrikes, if you get it right, will take a tank out. And if they don't take the tank out, they at least disable it in its tracks. So it's a pretty powerful weapon. And the other good thing about the Airstrikes, if you use it against a big mob of enemy like that, generally it takes them all out in one go. Now, it's pretty hard to determine what's going to happen here, because I mean, if you're not going to use stealth and start throwing distractor beacons off around the map, when it comes to holding down an area, you've got to either be lucky or you've got to take out the patrols really, really quick, or you just end up running around having a massive fight for ages. You can see here I'm trying to hold this area here, and as soon as one thing appears, that's it, it kicks off, and you have got to run away just to try and get a bit of breathing space. See the arc thrower here doing some really good damage against groups of enemies. Now normally I would have a shield so I can run through my static fields. On bug planets it's much easier. But against the Cyborgs I wanted to make sure that I had enough firepower, because when you get to the actual drop zone, defending it is very hard. So the more firepower you've got, the better it's going to be, so you can kill everything off. But it's the tanks. The tanks are the biggest problem because you can't stop them. As the old saying goes, you can't stop a tank in its tracks, and you can't because static fields don't work, but the Railcannon takes them out in one shot. But if you've got 2 or 3 appear, you're pretty done. So good thing is, once you've taken out a lot of enemy in an area, it will quieten down. It may take some time. I mean, this entire video had to be cut by about 50%, I think, overall. It took a good another 20 minutes on top of what I'm showing. Because the amount of time that you spend running around killing things, once you have killed things in an area, it will quieten down, as you see there. So sometimes it's good to actually have a standing fight, kill everything off, and then try and do your objective. The airfield batteries do take some luck as well. I think I got quite lucky here. Once you've pressed the or disabled the generator, so you can call in your stratagems without using a recoilless rifle or an EAT-17, which you could just walk up and one-shot it. You can actually use the Railcannon and the Airstrikes. Didn't hit it with the Airstrike that time, but they do both work. I've showed in some of the videos I'd used before when I was going through the gear guides. You can see here the Railcannon, as long as you get it right underneath it, you can get lucky and it will go through and hit it. I dare say that now I know the Airstrike's as powerful as it is, I would probably drop one Airstrike and carry a recoilless rifle if I had to take down air batteries as well, purely because the recoilless rifle will take down a tank and it will take down an air battery, even though they're quite slow to reload. It's definitely worth probably having one in the backpack. And you don't necessarily need a shield. It would be nice to have a shield because it does help you get away from a few sticky situations. But I've just been through this without the shield this time, so I should probably try and get away without using a shield again in the future. Now you can see here these abominations, these big elite abominations. That one had already been hit by I think the Airstrike, so we went down pretty quick. But there, these things, this one hasn't. These abominations are an absolute pain. They're so hard to take down. I mean, they're virtually not far from bug tank quality. They really take a good beating. So I think my objective here really was to search around for any of the patrols that were in the area, and then what I wanted to do was just kill this guy before I go back up and disable the alarm, disable the generator again. But once you've got them caught in the static field, you can use whatever you want to kill them off. And luckily, you can see here I use the arc thrower. Just one-shots that group. As long as you get it at the right distance, the arc thrower will take out a group just sweet. Much better than the laser. I know the shotgun's very good at doing that, but that just means that you're having to carry around ammo and re-ammoing up. The arc thrower doesn't. It's still very good at that. I think I missed with this first one. Oh, it's lucky that tank didn't come down towards me. That just gave me a chance to turn around. But the airstrike this time, as long as you get it and bang online, it does work. So it's a relief to get that one out of the way. That could have taken a lot longer. And this is, again, you can see once the alarm's gone off, you get all these elite enemies coming in, and you do get really overpowered and overrun. For a solo player, it's really not easy. I mean, if you were carrying around a shredded missile, you'd just be able to stop them in their tracks and then wipe them out instantly. So I'd maybe consider carrying a shredder as well, just to speed it up a little bit. Go from one objective to the other, wait till they all get near you and then just take them out in one big fast swoop. See there, the arc throw again is very good at taking out those little mobs. It's no good against these elite enemies with a shield. You just use an airstrike or whatever on those, but so that's a couple down, and the next one I think I've got the escorting the survivors. Now I honestly thought that the survivors would just get wiped out because you've only got to come into one patrol on a cyborg planet and they drop in from the sky. You get the elites, the tanks and everything turning up, and there's no way you can hold them off. So, but you've also got to capture these areas, and this area that I'm going to try and capture here it's actually in one of the zones where I can't use my stratagems. I got no a little bit of interference there. Now this is the hardest one because you've got to kill the patrols instantly. You don't kill the patrols and that's it, you're going to be on the back foot for a long time. And unluckily for me, I think they come in from this left hand side and I just don't get them quick enough. So once they've called the alarm, the others call the alarm and that's it. On the back foot, have a good fight. But I think as long as you've got one static field, it means you can hold your own just for that little bit longer instead of running away. And the other one would be a Hellfire bomb, so you could just stick that on the floor. It would hold them off just that little bit longer. The other good thing about the Hellfire is it does damage as well, so you could either combine that instead of the 2 airstrikes. You could use a Hellfire, or you could use a number of different ways of doing it. But I'd definitely say that the arc thrower is definitely worth using. You can see the airstrike, I mean, it's pretty powerful now and it can take out a massive group of enemies in one go. Now that one didn't work, that bugged on me there. I was a little bit pissed at the end because you screwed me over. Don't know what was going on there, I mean, it didn't really do me any favours and I thought that was going to screw me over and I was going to get killed here again. Luckily I managed just to escape. I think I'd have been on the phone to the developers. What's going on there? So this is where I like using a shield, because if you've got a group of enemies coming towards you, you could just run straight into the static field and then pull them into the static field. Without the shield, you've just got to be really careful you don't get caught up in your own static field. But I think generally on a Cyborg one here, I mean, using the stratagem priority allows you to use those stratagems a little bit quicker, or you could use cardiovascular and just, you know, run away from them, go from one point to another point a little bit quicker. So again, there's a lot of different ways of doing it. But once the tanks start rolling in, you've got to be careful. Sometimes they do get stuck on corners or stay in one place, but once they start moving towards you, you've got to make sure you take them out pretty quick. Take one out, and another one appears. That's what I'm on about. It's just a little bit maybe imbalanced. I think they could do without just as many tanks. I don't mind a few tanks, but at times it becomes relentless and they're so hard to take down. I think, you know, 'cause it's like you can do a bug planet in 20-25 minutes quite comfortably, taking it nice and slowly. Doing the Cyborg ones, I mean, Christ, it's taking 10-15 minutes just to do one objective. So without using stealth on a Cyborg planet, which I think this is where the imbalance comes in, just forces you on the back foot so much. So I'd like to see less tanks on a Cyborg planet, I really would. So this is the one that's going to take forever because it only takes one enemy to appear, and unless you use a shred and wipe everything out, it's pretty hard to get rid of everything on this level. Cyborgs take a good pounding. You can see here as well, I'm shooting this one. I mean, I shot that one 3 times, now I'm shooting this one, and it's gone through him. Twice in a row there, it didn't actually hit him. So sometimes, I don't know why, but it just doesn't actually hit the enemy, those small ones that come running at you. I'm not quite sure on that one. If you get it right though, I mean, it really does pound them. It's a very, very good weapon. You see here again with these big groups of elites that keep dropping out as soon as that tank raises the alarm. But the airstrike does make pretty good mincemeat of these guys. It's the only weapon though does in my backpack. See there, it's big groups and wipe them out. Very good. A good area of effect the airstrike now. It's very powerful. dare say the ones with the water, the maps with the water, you know, the jungle maps, just a little bit harder because you've got to be careful where you run. Last thing you want to be doing is getting stuck in the water. Now, can I get it this time? No. Once again they appear, and once they've raised that alarm, if you don't hit them, they raise the alarm. Here we go, Elite's in again, dropping out of the sky. So once again, on the back foot, running away, trying to kill him. Goes on and on and on. It'd be nice if you could use the Railcannon gun. If that fired a little bit quicker, that would probably be quite good, but it just doesn't fire quick enough for my liking. You get a little bit caught out with it. It's a very powerful weapon, but I prefer to use something that's better at, you know, just a little bit quicker at firing. Generally that's why I'd use this arc thrower or the laser. Or the shotgun, particularly against the luminous. I like the shotgun against the luminous. The new hand cannon, the explosive hand cannon is very good against the illuminates. I forget the name off the top of my head. See there again how good it is against little groups of mobs. Those patrols, you can really pound them. As long as you've got a bit of clear space and you get it just to the right distance there, you can again see he just takes it out in one great, one little group, go. So once again, go walking up towards it, and luckily I don't get any luck at all. Lucky, none at all. So again, on the back foot, have another fight. And it can go on and on and on if you don't take the patrols out. This is why maybe you'll want to use stealth. I don't particularly like using stealth. I just want to be able to take the enemy on at their own game. And that's the way I play. It's nice to see what weapons work against what enemies and how you use them. If you're using stealth and just running around, that's a completely different game. You can see how much beating these elites take, these big abominations take a right pounding. But that's what the good static field is, it traps them, can't move. I had actually been searching YouTube to see what other people have been doing against the Cyborg solo, but there really isn't many videos online against solo Cyborgs unless it's people using stealth tactics, you know, chucking stealth bombs all over the place, distractor beacons. I rarely use them. I think I've only used them a couple of times. This time I managed to get that patrol just before they raised the alarm, and eventually after about 18 billion hours I take that one. These are probably the hardest ones against the Cyborgs, I think. I'll take the airfield batteries and suitcases any day of the week. Right, I thought these guys were going to die. I mean, as you can see, I mean, every time they raise the alarm you get absolutely pounded by the, you know, the elites and the little abominations and all kinds of patrols running in at you. Luckily I think I found a nice little patch through here. Come on guys, keep up. Gee, it's going down. And there you have it. As soon as that alarm goes, I mean, I was lucky I didn't die there as well. So I was very surprised I even got them there, but that was good luck. Got to get some luck in this game now and then. Now and then. So, next objective. We got him. These things here are real hard. That's what the static field, again, it's so good at just trapping groups of enemies and allows you to take them out in one go. And the airstrike is mincing things up now. Very good. So generally the aircraft batteries that you've got to deploy here, I mean, they've always been one of my bugbears in this game. God. At level 12, I mean, you've only got to get one one alarm and that's it. You end up fighting them off for hours and hours and hours. Everything's dropping into the sky here. There's a party on my head. Those elites aren't too bad. As long as you see, once they stop and they target you, you've just got to run to the side. Gets away, can get away with it pretty easy. Again, you can see the arc thrower there. 2 shots to take out that group of 5. Very, very good. I mean, the reason I'm not using a thunder barrage as well, I mean, the thunder barrage's cooldown is just a little bit too long for my liking. And because it's covering one area for such a long time, in situations like this, I don't particularly find it that good because the enemy's coming from different directions. So I'd much prefer to be using something that's got a shorter cooldown, but still quite powerful. Now, I probably would have appreciated having a Hellfire bomb with me, which I normally use, particularly on the bug planets. So I think next time I do, I will try the Hellfire instead of 2 airstrikes. It all depends on the objectives as well. If if you've got the airfield or the anti-aircraft batteries to take out, again, the recoilless rifle might be a good proposition, but as you can take it out with an airstrike or the Railcannon, I'm not so sure. It doesn't really matter too much. Right then, let's try and get going. Nope, off we go again. They do like it, don't they? So you can see there again, the arc thrower really pounding groups out in one go. Once you've got rid of them, it's just down to trapping the big elites and throwing an airstrike on them or whatever else you've got. And there we go, another good. Right then, now I've got a little bit of time to get them going. Luckily I got that one right. As long as, once they put their arms in the air, you've got to be ready to hit them quick. Because you don't get much time to start charging up that arc thrower. Generally, you've got to try and preempt them as soon as you see them. So there we go, taking out 4 patrols and no alarms. Just gives you that little bit of breathing space. Thank God for that, they say. Right then, that's it. That's pretty much it as well. I can't believe how I got away with the rest of this. I get to the extraction site and I think I've killed everything. So. Much was me getting ready for this massive, great big fight at the shuttle, because last time I did it, I got overrun by tanks and elites and I just couldn't hold it. But I think with doing the anti-aircraft batteries there, I killed off so many things and so many patrols in the area and across the map. It's given me a little bit of time, so luckily got away with a nice, easy extraction. Way too easy. So there we go. That was a good run. Now we know what the aircraft or the airstrikes now do post patch 1.04. They're definitely pretty powerful against the cyborgs. They're definitely doing the business. So I think this loadout of the arc thrower, static field, Railcannon takes out tanks in one shot. The Airstrikes taking out big groups and very good against the tanks as well. And then anything else you really want to play around with, whether you take a recoilless rifle or something else. So, anyways, I'll catch you again soon. Cheers, guys. Goodbye.